Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of Paterson Planning Board special meeting of Monday, December 20th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. via webinar session. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you very much, and you may continue. Chairwoman Janice Northrop, thank you.
Thank you. I just will ask everyone, good evening everyone, to please stand for the flag salute. Since I can't find mine, we're gonna be looking at Udine. He's got one on his wall. All right? Thank you so much. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it
stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Please be seated. Commissioners, Planning Board staff, ladies and gentlemen, as Chairwoman of the City of Paterson's Planning Board, I call this meeting of 12/20/21 to order. I hereby state that all the provisions of the State of New Jersey Public Meeting Law have been fully and completely met, that the notice of provisions required have been properly posted in the Planning Board office and with the City of Paterson clerk, that the public notice and advertisements have been published in the Herald News on 12/10/21 in accordance with the law, and that the copies of such notice and public advertisements are on file in the Planning Board office, as is also the agenda listing the applications to be taken up by the Planning Board at this meeting. The procedures tonight will be in accordance with the rules, regulations, and bylaws as heretofore determined by the Planning Board at its office in the municipal complex in the City of Paterson. Roll call, please.
Good evening, councilmen, commissioners, and staff, and public as well, and welcome to the meeting. Our roll call is as follows. Commissioner Ahmed. Commissioner Ahmed. Commissioner Cleves.
Madam Secretary, I'm here.
Thank you, Commissioner Ahmed. Commissioner Cleves. Commissioner Fisher.
Present.
Commissioner Liranzo. Absent. Commissioner Santana absent. Commissioner Fulmore.
Present.
Commissioner Roman is absent. Commissioner Figueroa.
Present.
Councilman Kalik is absent. Vice Chairman Udine.
Yes, present.
And Chairwoman Northrop.
Present.
We have 7 commissioners in attendance and 4 are absent. That's what I show, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. All right, notice pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act addressing effective coronavirus measures on the next public meeting. Consistent with the coronavirus-related restrictions of Executive Order number 107, given on Saturday, March 21st, 2020 by Governor Philip G. Murphy, the Planning Board of the City of Paterson will not conduct in-person participation of the public at all future meetings until further notice. However, public participation will be available by means of communication equipment pursuant to NJSA 10:4-8 commencing on April 15, 2020. Though there may potentially be a practical need for a limited number of administrative, technical, or other city personnel to be present in or near the council chambers, 3rd floor City Hall, 155 Market Street, Paterson, New Jersey, in-person participation of the public is prohibited. Nevertheless, for reasons of compliance with the said Executive Order number 107, public participation will be available by calling 973-321-1579, and the meeting ID is 711-680-001, and I will be repeating that further on into the meeting, on the date and time that this meeting is scheduled to commence. The public may also participate in the meeting by accessing the website of the City of Paterson, www.patersonnj.gov. I believe there's, okay, yes. So www.patersonnj.gov. Okay, Ms. Kopp, you are, is it Cope or Kopp? Kopp, okay. You are representing the applicant, 90 Broadway Paterson LLC?
That's correct.
Please Please state your credentials for the record, please.
I'm Catherine Cobb. I'm an associate with the Law Office of Post Pollock, located at 425 Eagle Rock Avenue, Suite 200 in Roseland.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so 90 Broadway, Paterson LLC, the applicant proposes to convert the existing, this is on block 4402, lot 3, by the way. And the applicant proposes to convert the existing second and third and partial mezzanine floors of a 3-story building from office use to residential use. The first floor shall remain as a commercial use, and the second and third floors each propose two-bedroom units and a partial mezzanine above proposed 1 studio unit for a total of 5 units consisting of 4 one-bedroom units and 1 studio unit. The building is located 88 feet east of the southeast corner of Washington Street and Broadway. The parcel has total area of 1,705 square feet. A parking variance is as requested as 9 off-street parking spaces are required and 0 are proposed. This proposal is located within the downtown commercial and historic district overlay of the B-4 downtown central business district, and it requires site plan approval and bulk variances. Mr. Deutsch, would you give us your review, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh, and I'm gonna ask everyone to please mute themselves unless you're talking. Okay, this way we won't have all the background noise. Thank you so much.
Property taxes and sewer charges are paid today. Persons having a 10% or more ownership interest in 90 Broadway, Paterson LLC are Thomas Kaleka, providing an address of 110 Upper Saddle River Road, Montvale, New Jersey. John Butler, licensed surveyor, has prepared a survey dated December 7, 2020. As indicated on the survey, the building is 3.5 stories and is built along 3 of the 4 property lines. There is an approximate 6-foot rear yard setback. The building is located on the south side of Broadway, 88 feet east of the intersection of Broadway and Washington Street. Parcel is frontage of 21.32 feet on Broadway, a rear lot line that measures 21.2 feet, a western side line that measures 80.43 feet, and an eastern side lot line that measures 80.6 feet. Parcel has total area of 1,712 square feet or 0.04 acres. Evans Architect has prepared a 1-page site plan dated January 5th, 2021. The plan indicates the tax map, the zoning map, the proposed site plan, the zoning ordinance data, notes, and the floor plans. The first floor plan indicates an existing retail space of 1,375 square feet and includes a bathroom. A staircase leads to a basement. From the exterior, an additional door leads to the upper floors. The second floor indicates the removal of existing partition walls and 2 proposed 1-bedroom units of 613 and 690 square feet. Each unit includes a kitchen, a full bathroom, a living room, and a mechanical unit. There is an existing fire escape located at the rear of the building. The existing stairs are to remain. Third floor, bathroom, a living room, and a mechanical unit. There is an existing fire escape located at the rear of the building. The rear unit has access to the fire escape from a door located in the bedroom. The existing stairs are to remain. The mezzanine and roof plan indicates a 490 square foot studio unit at the rear of the building and includes a kitchen, a full bathroom, and a mechanical unit. There's an interior door from the unit that leads to the rear fire escape. An additional door leads to the existing rooftop. The Downtown Central Historic District is an overlay zone within the B4 zone. Paterson Master Plan encourages, and the zoning ordinance has been amended to reflect that residential units are a permitted use in the B4 zone of the city. Any alteration to the exterior of the building requires approval from the Paterson Division of Historic Preservation prior to final planning board approval. A parking variance is requested. Each studio and 1-bedroom unit requires 1.8 parking spaces. As no off-street parking spaces exist, a parking variance for 9 parking spaces is requested. That parking authority is able to provide off-street parking in both surface lots and parking decks to to apartment renters and owners residing within the central business district. An open space variance is requested. 950 square feet of open space is required and 0 is provided. Each studio unit requires 150 square feet of open space, and each one-bedroom unit requires 250 square feet of open space, and 0 is provided on site. However, the studio unit and each of the one-bedroom units exceed the minimum square footage for a studio unit, which is 350 square feet, and the minimum for a one-bedroom unit, which is 600 square feet. Prior to final approval, the applicant will provide or obtain certificate of occupancies for the first 4 commercial spaces of the building. The residential unit shall not become occupied until a certificate of occupancy for the building is obtained from a city of construction official. Any proposed sign shall be in conformance with section 500-8 of the Land Development Ordinance. The applicant advises that the hours of operation for the first floor retail space are to be from 9 o'clock a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Notes on the plan indicate that all utilities and utility connections are existing and are to remain. No new utility connections are proposed or required. All sewer connections are existing and are to remain. The Paterson Historic Preservation Commission has provided a memorandum dated November 23rd, 2021, recommending planning board approval of this proposal. Prior to final approval, the applicant shall obtain city engineering approval. Surrounding land use. This proposal is in the central business district of the city, near the public safety complex and the Underground Railroad historic site. The building was most likely constructed after the Paterson fire in the early 1900s. The surrounding neighborhood is composed of many older buildings, first built as commercial structures with commercial uses on the first floor and offices and or retail above. Although the first floor uses are still commercial, many of the upper floors are still used for storage or are vacant. The Paterson Master Plan encourages the adaptive reuse of the upper floors of buildings in the central business district for urban residential living in order to create a more active 24-hour downtown and additional economic and commercial activities as a result. In conclusion, the applicant estimates the cost of this proposal at approximately $500,000. That is your staff review for this proposal, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you, Mr. Deutsch. Ms. Kopp?
Excuse me, Madam Chair, Mr. Acquaviva, you may proceed with the 2 commissioners that are present.
I see Commissioner Lorenzo,
Oh, yes.
and I see Commissioner Cleaves. Yes, they're both here, Madam Chair.
Okay, I see them both as
I'd
well.
like to have them on the record, Madam Chair.
Yep.
If you can call their names for attendance purposes. Thank you.
Yep. Commissioner Cleaves?
Present.
Yes. Commissioner Lorenzo?
Present.
Okay, let the record reflect. All right, thank you very much, Ms. Cobb.
We have 8 commissioners in attendance this evening.
Thank you. Ms. Cobb?
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chairperson and ladies and gentlemen of the board. Tonight, the applicant proposes to convert and adaptively reuse the existing 2nd and 3rd floors and the partial mezzanine of an existing 3-story building from office to residential use at the property located at 90 Broadway. The first floor will remain as a commercial use, and the 2nd and 3rd floors will each contain 2 one-bedroom units and 1 studio unit. And 1 studio unit is proposed above the partial roof mezzanine for a total of 5 residential units in the upper floors. The property is located in the B4 Central District, Downtown Commercial Historic District overlay. Tonight, we're seeking preliminary and final site plan and C variances for insufficient parking and open space. We have appeared before the Paterson Historic Preservation Commission on October 25th, 2021, and received a letter of support which was provided along with the planner's report. Notice of the hearing was published in the newspaper and in accordance with municipal land use law, and notice is also provided to property owners in accordance with the MLUL, and a sign has been posted on the property. Tonight I have 2 witnesses. My first witness will be architect Matthew Evans, who will discuss the architectural component of the project.
Please call him.
I'd like to call Matthew Evans.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your full name for the record.
Matthew Evans, architect, 470 Chamberlain Ave, Paterson, New Jersey.
Thank you. Accept him as an expert witness. Please proceed.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm at home with COVID, so I'm just trying to recuperate, so just bear with me a little bit. I'll share my image here. Hey, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so this is the one-page submission that we submitted. Basically, we're leaving the first floor retail intact. The upper floors it was previously a bail bonds office, and it was offices and of different types in the past, but the most recent is a vacant bail bonds office, and I believe it might have been a law office also. All those interiors will be demolished, and we're putting in new one-bedroom apartment in the front and the back on the
Can you
second and
enlarge
third
that?
floor.
Can you enlarge that a little bit?
Oh, sure, sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let me do that. It's probably better. So looking at the second floor, you can see the dotted lines as the demolition. So we have a large living room and kitchen, dining area, and we have a bedroom, single bedroom unit in the rear, and we have bathroom. All the units are going to have their own mechanical systems for each of the units. So basically the front unit will be a mirror of the back unit. The front is 613 square feet on the second floor, 690 in the rear. So those meet the minimum of 600 square feet. And then we go to the third floor, which has a one bedroom, and that's similar to the other one, 619 square feet. And there's an existing stair that we partitioned off, so we're going to have that part of the egress, and that goes up to the third, the mezzanine unit. And then, as I said, we have mechanicals for each of the units. And then the one bedroom in the front on the third floor is a little larger, 734 square feet, being that there's the stair doesn't cut into that as it does on the second floor. Then in the back, there's an existing mezzanine, which we created a studio apartment, and that's 490 square feet. And that meets the minimum square footage for a studio. And all these units have fire escapes in the back, and part of this would be bringing it all up to fire code, fire-rated partitions, and sprinkler systems throughout the units. There's no changes to the exterior facade, with the exception of anything that would be accommodating the Historic Preservation Commission, and that's basically what we're proposing. We meet all the criteria bulk, except for the parking for this use.
Okay, and can you describe the conditions that you had mentioned, or the requirements for the Historic Commission? What will be done to the exterior of the building?
Well, I believe we're going to power wash it, clean up the brick, clean up the windows, take out any unsightly signage that doesn't meet the HPC criteria. So those are some of the things we would be doing.
Okay, and then also making repairs to the masonry, and then removing the exterior gates from the building as well?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, all right, and just to confirm, you said that all of the units do in fact exceed the minimum size requirements, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I have no further questions for this witness.
Alright, who is your second witness, please?
Is our planner, Alex Doherty?
Doherty, okay. Are these the only two witnesses you have this evening for this application?
Yes.
Okay, please call Mr. Doherty, please. Mr. Doherty?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your full name for the record.
Alexander Dougherty, last name is spelled Dougherty, professional planner.
Have you appeared before us before?
Your zoning board.
Your zoning board. Alright, we'll accept him as an expert witness. Please move on then, thank you.
Thank you. Can you describe the project for the board, please?
Absolutely. To sum it up, it's essentially adaptive for use. What we have here is one site, the tax lot, lot 4402, lot 3, 17,000 square feet approximately. It's developed as a 3-story commercial building. We are looking to adapt and reuse the top floors of the office and so forth. We're on Broadway, which is the main corridor within the community, which supports a variety of wide mixes and land uses. Again, the plan is the adaptive reuse to create 5 dwelling units over the ground commercial. The zone, the B4 Central Business Zone, which provides use, which is the mixed use is permitted. The site is also within the overlay, the downtown commercial historic overlay district, which this has been endorsed by. The relief we're seeking here essentially is the parking and open space, both of which are C relief. We have a requirement of 9 parking. We're proposing 0. And we have a requirement of 950 square foot of open space, and again, we are proposing 0. With that being said, I'd like to share the screen and kind of give everybody a little quick on the ground. This is a set of 8 slides of maps and photos. The yellow here on page 1 is the parcel in question. Page 2 kind of gives you an aerial view from a map perspective, and then this is more of a land use map showing the commercial uses essentially around the area. And then this is the downtown central business district zoning map here, again indicating we're in the zone. The property in question here is this one, as you can see, Aaron's bail bonds. This building here is the proposed adaptive reuse of the floors above. Give you kind of a broader sense and location. We are within a great proximity of the parking deck, as well as 88 feet from the corner of Washington, which also has mass transit. Again, just kind of circling around with the drone footage of what the area is. As you can see, there is on-street parking as well, and metered parking. And this kind of gives you a back shot of that mezzanine unit, which would be the studio here, with satellite above it. And then this kind of shows you that, again, the page before, how long this building actually is going towards the rear to accommodate those 4 one-bedroom units, 2 on each floor. With that said, I'll stop sharing. So the legal basis for relief here, parking relief is justified under both the C1 and the C2, which the C2 is the balancing test and the C1 is the hardship. An applicant needs to satisfy either the C1 or the C2. It's my belief we satisfy both. The C1 hardship relief relates to the land and structures lawfully existing thereon. The courts in Rixick have found the hardship for the parking. Can't really force parking on a building that currently does not possess parking, and that's certainly the narrative here. When we look at the C2, the balancing here, the application as a whole outweigh any public detriments. When we look at the public benefits here, they're significant. We have an adaptive reuse, which promotes efficient use of land and revitalizes the dead space that currently exists. Historic preservation, we're enhancing and beautifying the building without any alterations to the historic downtown. Aesthetics, we're renovating and to improve the visual appearance of the exterior. So We promote a variety of land uses, residential, provides a consumer base to support the local businesses within the community. All of the above promote purposes of the land use law, especially purposes A, G, I, and N. When we look at the public impacts, they're minimal. The area is a walkable area and provides excellent accessibility to mass transit. Some of the mass transit is the 171 bus, the 704, 770, the 722, 746, 748, and 707, which are in great proximity to the site. When we look at the good planning, this promotes and lessens reliance on the automobiles and provides alternate modes of travel. And it is our belief that the units are oversized to help mitigate the need for open space, which our building cannot currently provide. With that said, the statutory criteria for grant of relief have been met, and I believe approval is warranted.
Okay, and just to confirm, this application can be granted without substantial impairment to the master plan or the zoning ordinance, correct?
Correct. In fact, adaptive reuse is expressly called out.
Okay, and the site cannot provide additional parking, correct?
No, as you saw, we're kind of sandwiched right there in the public realm with the other buildings next to us, on
Okay,
both sides.
okay, I have and have you reviewed the staff reports?
I did. I thought it was well written. And again, I think the staff reports, as heard earlier, are in favor of this application.
Okay, and we can comply with the comments and or recommendations that were made in the report, correct? I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, I'm gonna open it up to the public. If there's anyone in the public that has any questions of either witness, Mr. Doherty or Mr. Evans, please call in at 973-321-1579. The meeting ID is 711-680-001. And I'll allow 2 minutes for call-ins, 3 minutes for questions. Let me ask, Madam Secretary, do you know of any right now? Because if not, I'll just move on to our commissioners and then come back.
We have no callers at this time. As you question the commissioners, if I do have one, I will let you know.
Okay, great. Okay, commissioners, any questions of either witness?
I have a question, Madam Chairman.
Yes, Commissioner Fulmar, please.
This is just regarding the fire escapes. Would you just give a little bit more clarity in terms of access, all of the floors to the fire escapes?
Okay, we have, let me just post again. So we have the rear fire escape, and what we're also doing is, in addition to the fire escape, we have fully sprinklered building. We're gonna add a fire sprinkler throughout the whole building. So that will alleviate a lot of the fire concerns and bring it up to code for residential use.
Okay, but every floor has access to the fire escape. Just wanted to confirm that.
Yes.
Thank you. That's my only question.
Okay, Commissioner Fulmar. Any other questions by any other commissioners?
Yes, this is Commissioner Figueroa.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Thank you. My question is about the retail of the commercial space. Is it actively rented? I know it looked like there was a for rent or something on there.
The building is vacant, as far as I know. It's been vacant for quite a while.
Okay.
My question, well, yeah, go ahead, Commissioner, please, go ahead.
I came in while the proposal was being read. Sometimes it's kind of dark on that street. Do you have lighting on the building?
We don't have any lighting. Basically, historic preservation, except for the type of sign lightage or gooseneck lighting, the historic preservation doesn't want us to put lighting on the building, but there's streetlights in that area, we can look into DPW and see if they can check those streetlights and see if they're all up to speed.
Yeah, you need to ride by there sometimes at night because sometimes it's very dark in that area there. So, just for safety precautions.
Perhaps we can put a stipulation in there that this has to be looked at because it is a little bit dark, on that street. I worked around the corner there, so I know. And it's, and I understand the historic preservation, they don't like to put anything on the buildings that really wasn't there originally. They want to bring it back to its, original status, so, maybe we can work something out. I'll talk to Al at the end of this and see if we could do something, okay? Any other, any other? Yes, Commissioner Figueroa, yes.
Piggybacking that, isn't the police station right across the street though?
It is, and they do have cameras all along there. They better be working, they better be working because, I mean, this was all started by the department I was in, so it better be there. But anyway, I would think that they have them up and going, so, yes.
And you're talking about one bedroom apartment, so you're assuming that it's a single individual person moving there. And if they're coming and going, depending on their work hours and stuff, and it's late, it
Right.
becomes a safety issue now.
Right, exactly. So I'll talk to Al at the end of this and see if we can get something in writing, a stipulation perhaps, about how we can do this. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other commissioners?
Madam Chairwoman, I actually have another question.
Yes, please go ahead, Commissioner Cuomo.
Just regarding the, commercial space, is there any idea of what that space will be used for, what type of business?
I do not have, I can reach out to my client to get confirmation. I do not have, I don't know what they're planning on putting in there. If you'd like, if
Yes,
pause for,
yes, I would like to know, I'd like to know what his thoughts are putting something in there, because this is in the downtown area, and we're trying to get rid of the riffraff, so yes, I personally would like to know what their plans are, if you could do that. Meantime, we'll take a pause for 5 minutes, except for, Madam Secretary, are there any other callers on the line?
Chairwoman and Commissioners, we have no callers at this time.
All right, just real quick, do any other commissioners have any other questions before Ms. Kopp gets her, the owner on the line? All right,
Yeah,
hearing,
actually, that's where I was going with my earlier question, because I know that there was an hours of like 9 to 9. Would that be for any business that's there? I know she's researching that.
I'll request confirmation,
Okay.
clarification.
okay, so let's sit tight, we'll take a 5-minute break, just a 5-minute break, quick break. Okay, while she does that, if you get back before the 5 minutes, Ms. Kopp, it's okay, all right, just give me a
Okay.
call.
All right,
Okay,
thank you.
Okay. Ms. Cobb, are you there?
I am here. I'm still trying to confirm the last little bit of information with my client. I just need another moment or two.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, we have Ms. Cobb back. Please, go ahead, please.
Okay, I spoke with my client and he does not have a particular tenant in mind. He will, it will be any permitted use. The hours of operation will be restricted regardless of the tenant from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But he does not have a particular tenant lined up at this time.
Okay, I think that I would like to stipulate no alcohol.
I can check and see if that's something that he would agree to right now, but it may take me a moment.
Yeah, I'm thinking more in the downtown area, it should be more of a business district, and I'm thinking there should be something there business related to the people in that area who can take advantage of those services. I'm not saying it can't be something with food or something like that, but what I am saying is I would rather not see any liquor. That's my own personal opinion.
Chairman, this is
Yes.
question.
Yes.
If we would like to add a condition, we can do that. Do we have to look at the applicant to whether he agreed or not? But if we want to just add a condition, with that condition, if that goes through, we'll move forward with that.
Yes.
I will just add this condition and let commissioners to decide whether we should move forward like this.
Yes, we can. We absolutely can move forward with that. I was just curious if her client understands that we might do that, because truthfully, usually the owner is on with us and we can just ask those questions. Since he's not there, that's why I'm asking her. If you can, is he still on the line with you, Ms. Cobb?
Yes, I did send him a message and he did indicate that he's willing to agree no liquor store, no bar.
Okay, all right, good enough. That takes care of that issue. In the meantime, I don't see Mr. Aquaviva, which is why I saw something there where there was a problem. I did send something to him about the lighting. He said since the historic district is involved and made the initial I don't want to say representation of what they expect that building to be, we cannot stipulate that they have lighting. He doesn't want those types of lighting on that building. I don't know, I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of him, because I think he's having problems with his, with the microphone. If we can stipulate that DPW, I don't know if we can even do that, but try to make sure that DPW stays on top of this and the lighting in the area, because basically it is dark over there. Not that that would be the fault of this particular applicant. I'm not saying that, but maybe we can do something and put a stipulation. So give me 1 minute, I'm gonna try to get a hold of Al. Let's see. So I think he's having a problem on his line.
Chairwoman Northrop, I have Billy on the line. Would you like to speak to him?
Who?
Director William.
I don't hear you. I wanna go back to what Mr. Aquaviva just told me. He said we could stipulate some lighting, but it would be, it would have to be with the, approval of the historic district anyway. So we could put our request in there, but it would still have to be with the approval of the historic district. So that's what we wanna do. Somebody can make that motion, should a motion be made, to put that in there, but it still is under the stipulation of whether the historic area has to, John Franco has to approve it. Okay? Everybody got that? Okay. Madam Secretary, who wanted to speak with me?
No, I was, since you asked about DPW, I did call.
Oh, Billy?
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Which is the DPW director, and he did state that if it's residential, they do not intervene.
They do not intervene. Okay, so we're gonna have to put a stipulation on there if anybody wants to make a motion, if they choose to do that. And you wanna make that stipulation, understand that it's gonna have to be with the historic district's approval, but we can try. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. I see no other questions from our commissioners. Commissioners, last call. Any other questions? Okay. See no questions from the commissioners. We don't have any callers coming in. Would you like to summarize, Ms. Cobb?
So the applicant respectfully requests that the board grant preliminary and final site plan approval and the requested variances. Tonight you've heard testimony from my client's skilled and credible experts regarding the details of the project. And my client and its professionals have worked very hard and at a great expense to make this application what it is today, an extremely well-planned development. What is being proposed is a positive application that makes sense for the city. The project will increase revenue and increase occupancy. We've satisfied both the negative and positive criteria and request that the application be granted as applied for.
Okay, thank you. Is there any commissioner that would like to make a motion on this application? Commissioners? Any commissioner? Okay.
Commissioner Figueroa,
Okay, Commissioner Figueroa, go ahead, please.
on the application of 90 Broadway Paterson LLC, address at 110 Upper Saddle River Road in Montvale, New Jersey, 07695. Property address 90 Broadway, block 4402, lot 3. I move that the board attorney prepare resolution granting site plan approval and bulk variances, city engineer, Paterson Division of Historic Preservation, with the condition that we look into the possibility of their approving exterior lighting of some kind for this structure.
That the historic preservation approves.
Approves, exactly. To be considered at the board's earliest opportunity.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Commissioner Alonso. I believe those were the only conditions. Okay, so roll call, please.
There were only 2 conditions that I know of, or 3 with the alcohol.
Well, 3, you're right. You're absolutely, yes, you're right. Okay, we need the condition of no alcohol in that business. Yeah, no alcohol in that business.
Okay.
And so Commissioner Alonso seconded, okay? And then we'll do a roll call.
Okay. Thank you, Chairwoman. The vote is commissioners. Commissioner Ahmed, yes or no on the application?
Yes, Madam.
Thank you. Commissioner Cleaves?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Fisher?
Yes.
Commissioner Iranzo?
Yes.
Commissioner Fulmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Uteen?
Yes.
And Chairwoman Northrop?
Yes.
This
Thank
is 8 in the affirmative. This application has been granted. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Dean, stay online there because we're gonna make a motion to close this meeting. Second, anybody?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Udine, all in favor? Aye, good, okay. So now, we're gonna move on to the second application, and so we need the flags to do it again. Yes,
Can you give me 2 minutes?
yes, I can, go ahead, take your 2 minutes, and when you get back on, we'll do the flag salute for the second.
Thank you.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Okay, Commissioners, Planning Board staff, ladies and gentlemen, as Chairwoman of the City of Paterson's Planning Board, I call this meeting of 12/20/21 to order. I hereby state that all the provisions of the State of New Jersey Public Meeting Law have been fully and completely met, that the notice of provisions required have been properly posted in the Planning Board office and with the City of Paterson clerk, that the public notice and advertisements have been published in the Herald News on 12/10/21 in accordance with the law, and that the copies of such notice and public advertisements are on file in the Planning Board office, as is also the agenda listing the applications to be taken up by the Planning Board at this meeting. The procedures tonight will be in accordance with the rules, regulations, and policies heretofore determined by the Planning Board at its office in the municipal complex in the City of Paterson. Roll call, please.
Commissioners, Commissioner Ahmed, Commissioner Cleaves, Commissioner Cleaves, present, Commissioner Fisher,
Present.
Commissioner Liranzo,
Present.
Commissioner Santana is absent, Commissioner Fulmore, Commissioner Roman is absent, Commissioner Figueroa,
Present.
thank you, Councilman Kalik is absent, Vice Chairman Udine,
Present.
and Chairwoman Northrup.
Present.
We have 8 commissioners in attendance for this case, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. All right, so, Ms. Kopp, are you representing this applicant on this, 18 Church Patterson NJ LLC?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Please state the address of the firm for the record, please.
Catherine Kopp with the Law Office of Post Pollock, located at 425 Eagle Rock Avenue, Suite 200 in Roseland, New Jersey, 07068.
Okay, do you have the same 2, witnesses? You have, I see Mr. Doherty and you have, Mr. Evans?
Yes,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay, so, 18 Church Street, block 4407, lot 7, the applicant proposes to convert part of the first floor and all of the second floor from commercial use to residential use. An existing commercial space will remain on the northwest corner of Church Street and Van Houten Street. The remainder of the first floor commercial space will be converted from commercial space to 2 studio units and one bedroom unit. The second floor will be converted from commercial space to 2 studio units and 2 one-bedroom units. A total of 7 units consisting of 4 studio units and 3 one-bedroom units are proposed. The building is located on the northwest corner of Church Street and Van Houten Street. The parcel has total area of 2,583 square feet. A parking variance is requested as 13 off-street parking spaces are required and 0 are proposed. This proposal is located within the downtown commercial historic district overlay of the B4 downtown central business district, and it requires site plan approval and bulk variances. Mr. Deutsch, may we have your review, please?
Yes, Madam Chairwoman. Property taxes and sewer charges are paid today. Persons having a 10% or more ownership interest in 18 Church Paterson NJ LLC are Thomas Koleka, providing address of 235 South Harrison Street, number 100, East Orange, New Jersey. Vincent Mano, surveyor, has prepared a survey dated March 11, 2021. As indicated in the survey, the building is 2 stories and is built along all 4 of the property lines. The building is located on the northwest corner of Church Street and Van Houten Street. Parcel is frontage of 25.83 feet on Church Street, additional frontage of 100 feet on Van Houten Street, and side and rear lot lines of 25.83 feet and 100 feet. The parcel total area of 2,583 square feet for 0.06 acres. Evans Architect has prepared a one-page site plan dated December 30th, 2020. I must check that date again. Yes, December 30th, 2020. The plan indicates the tax map, the zoning map, the proposed site plan, the zoning ordinance data, notes, and the floor plan. The first floor plan indicates an existing commercial tenant space of 853 square feet with a bathroom and access to Church Street. No changes are proposed to this space. On the Manhattan Street side of the building, the applicant proposes 3 residential units on the first floor and a separate access door to the second floor. 2 studio units of 406 and 520 square feet are proposed.
Sorry, excuse me, I'm gonna ask everyone to please mute their mics, there's some background noise, thank you.
On the Manhattan Street side of the building, the applicant proposes 3 residential units on the first floor and a separate access door to the second floor. 2 studio units of 406 and 520 square feet are proposed. Each studio unit includes a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living and sleeping area. 1-bedroom unit is 683 square feet and includes a kitchen, a full bathroom, and a dining room, living room area. The second floor indicates 2 proposed studio units of 356 and 369 square feet and 2 1-bedroom units of 603 and 810 square feet. Each studio unit includes a kitchen and a full bathroom. Each 1-bedroom unit includes a kitchen, a full bathroom, and a dining room and living room area. The applicant has provided an elevation of the building as it is to appear facing Manhattan Street. New egress windows and a new access door are to be placed on the first floor of the building. Second floor windows are to remain. The Downtown Central Historic District is an overlay zone within the B4 zone. Paterson Master Plan encourages and the zoning ordinance has been amended to reflect that residential units are a permitted use in the B4 zone of the city. Any alteration to the exterior of the building requires approval from the Paterson Division of Historic Preservation prior to final planning board approval. Parking variance is requested. Each studio and 1-bedroom unit requires 1.8 parking spaces. As no off-street parking spaces exist, a parking variance for 13 parking spaces is requested. Paterson Parking Authority is able to provide off-street parking in both surface lots and parking decks to apartment renters and owners residing within the Central Business District. An open space variance is requested as 1,200 square feet is required and 0 is provided. Each studio unit requires 150 square feet of open space and each 1-bedroom unit requires 250 square feet of open space and 0 is provided on site. Prior to final approval, the applicant will provide or obtain a certificate of occupancy for the first floor commercial space. The residential units should not become occupied until a certificate of occupancy for the building is obtained from the City of Paterson construction official. Any proposed sign shall be in conformance with Section 500-8 of the Land Development Ordinance. The applicant advises that the hours of operation for the first floor retail space are to be from 9 o'clock a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Notes on the plan indicate that all utilities and utility connections are existing and are to remain. No new utility connections are required or proposed. All sewer connections are existing and are to remain. The Paterson Historic Preservation Commission has provided a memorandum dated November 23rd, 2021, recommending planning board approval of this proposal. Prior to final approval, the applicant shall obtain city engineering approval. Surrounding land use. This proposal in the Central Business District across the street from a Paterson Parking Authority parking garage. Paterson Master Plan encourages the adaptive reuse of the upper floors of buildings in the Central Business District for urban residential living in order to create a more active 24-hour downtown and additional economic and commercial activities as a result. In conclusion, the applicant estimates the cost of this proposal at approximately $700,000. As your staff review for this proposal, Madam Chairwoman.
Ms. Cobb, can you please go ahead and, call your first witness? Thank you, Mr. Deutsch.
Thank you. For my first witness, I'd like to call Matthew Evans.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm testimony about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
They do.
Say your full name for the record.
Matthew Evans, architect, 470 Chamberlain Ave, Paterson, New Jersey.
We accept, Mr. Evans as an expert witness. Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Evans, can you please explain the proposed project to the board?
Okay.
Large.
Basic,
Large.
larger?
Yeah, a little bit larger.
I'm gonna try and get to let me go to the other part first, because basically this is, the tax map shows the building's on the corner of Van Houten and Church. It's an older building. It's a 2-story brick building, and it's basically vacant. There was a tavern in the rear of the building on the first floor, then there's a commercial space in the front, and the upper floor was offices, which are all vacant. We're proposing to adaptively reuse this building, and on the first floor we have handicap. On the first floor rear, we have a studio apartment, which is 406 square feet, which is a nice size. That's a handicap accessible unit. And we have a 1-bedroom next to that, which is 683 square feet. That's also handicapped accessible, right from Van Houten Street. And then we have one other studio apartment, which is a large one, 520 square feet, also a handicap accessible unit. There's a central stair between those two units, and that goes up to the second floor. The existing commercial tenant space is 853 square feet, and that would remain, and I gather that anything permitted in the B4 commercial would be acceptable in that space. So then we go to the second floor and the rear section. So you see the stairs coming up, or they go down. To the rear section, we have a studio apartment, 356 square feet, and then we have 1-bedroom apartment, 603 square feet. So you can see these are large bedrooms. I mean, they're a little larger than normal. So it's nice to have that extra space. And then we have a 1-bedroom in the front or in the middle. That's 810 square feet, and that would be 210 square feet bigger than required. And then we have a studio apartment in the front corner, and that would be 369 square feet. That also meets the criteria for a studio apartment.
Okay, and I'm sorry, and there's no parking on site, correct?
Right, there's no parking. They could look at the right side elevation we have here. This is a Van Houten, along Van Houten Street. And this is the new windows that we've submitted to historic preservation with the new openings that we have preliminary approval from historic preservation. And there would be no other changes to the exterior of the building as part of this application.
Okay, however, we did agree per the historic commission to clean the exterior and remove any exterior gates from the building, correct?
Right, yeah, there were some conditions that we agreed to.
Okay. Okay, and just to confirm, all of the units will have, I believe you already said this, but just to reiterate, each residential unit will have their own kitchen and bathroom and their own
Yes.
mechanical units, correct?
Well, we don't show mechanicals. There's a basement that would supply mechanicals for this, but we could incorporate mechanicals in these units.
I apologize,
So we have
I
to
misspoke. Okay, and, the size of the commercial space again on the first floor? I'm sorry, what was that?
That's 850. Let me see what it is. 853 square feet.
Okay. Okay, and all of the residential units either meet or exceed the minimum requirements for the zone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay, please call, your planner, Mr. Doherty.
You raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Say your full name for the record.
Alexander Dougherty, last name Dougherty. Professional planner.
Okay, we accept him as an expert witness, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can you, the property is located at 18 Church Street, correct?
Correct.
Okay, can you describe the surrounding area?
Absolutely. In fact, I'll show the surrounding area just real briefly with a 3-page it's of maps and photos, if you will. Before you here, along Church, this is the front facade of the building in question. And as we kind of circle to the second page here, the yellow arrow kind of helps identify it. What's important to take from these photos, right across the street, again, parking garage, on-street parking, and so forth, as we can see, kind of spinning around, as well as on Church. And, there's street parking in the close proximity to the parking garage. And again, these photos, as well as previous, were taken November 29th. Kind of help speed us along, this is pretty much a reflection of what was just presented before you. We have one tax lot. We're on block 4407, lot 7, approximately 2,500 square feet, 2-story commercial building. The area, it's Broadway, it's the main corridor, supports, we're kind of literally just one block over from Broadway. The plan to renovate portion of the lower building, as you heard, and to renovate the top floor for an adaptive use for approximately 7 dwelling units, with the street front commercial remaining. Zoning, B4 central business zone, where mixed use is a permitted use. The site is also within the downtown commercial historic overlay. There's zone relief we're seeking before you. Again, see relief for parking, for zone requires 13, proposing 0. And open space of 1,200 square feet, and we're proposing 0. The legal basis for justification, parking relief is justified under the C1 hardship as well as the C2 balancing test. The applicant needs to satisfy either the C1 or the C2. Again, in this case, we satisfy both. For parking, the C1 hardship relief relates to the land and structures lawfully existing thereon. This is an adaptive use of an existing building that currently does not have any on-site parking. The courts in Rixick found that hardship to force parking upon a structure or building that has none is indeed a hardship. The C2 balancing test here, the application as a whole here substantially outweigh the detriments of the parking and the open space. This is adaptive reuse, which promotes efficient use of land and revitalizes that space here. Historic preservation, we're enhancing and beautifying the historic downtown aesthetics, renovations to improve the visual appearance of the exterior. And this is a variety of land uses, mixed use. Residents provide a consumer base to support the local businesses. All the above promote purposes of the municipal land use law, especially purposes A, G, I, and M. When we look at the public impacts, they are minimal. This is a walkable area which provides excellent accessibility to mass transit as well as public parking. Again, the transit lines that are within immediate proximity, bus 171, 704, 770, 722, 746, 748, 707. And again, this is a good plan, promotes and lessens the reliance on automobiles and promotes the alternative modes of travel. The units are oversized, which helps to mitigate the open space, which do not provide for. Statutory criteria for grant of relief has been met and approval is warranted.
Okay, and this application can be granted without any detriment to the city's master plan, correct?
Absolutely. In fact, adaptive reuse is expressly called upon.
Okay, and have you reviewed this planner's report?
Yes, I have. Is in favor of the application.
Okay, and can we comply with all of the requests and or requirements outlined in the planner's report?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right, and just to reconfirm, the variances that we're seeking are for parking and lack of open space, correct?
Correct.
All right, I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay, so this time I'm gonna open it up to the public first. If anyone in the public has any questions of either Mr. Doherty or Mr. Evans, please call in at 973-321-1579. The meeting ID is 711-680-001. And I will allow 2 minutes for call-ins, 3 minutes for questions. Madam Secretary, if there's no one on the line, I'm gonna do what I did at the last meeting, and I'm gonna open it up to the commissioners. Is there anyone on the line?
You are absolutely correct. We have no callers at this time, Madam Chair.
I have,
Commissioners.
thank you so much. Okay, so I have 2 questions, and then I'm gonna open it up to the commissioners. I thought I heard something about, the parking authority, will work with you, for parking. Has anyone reached out for anything formal from Tony Perez of the parking authority?
We have not reached out to the parking authority regarding this project, no.
But didn't I read somewhere in here that, listen, I don't have that paperwork in front of me, that the parking authority was willing to work with this applicant to provide parking? Or did I not read that, Mr. Deutsch?
The parking authority has lots in the area. Should some sort of agreement be made with them to rent spaces on a monthly basis?
Okay, so that has not been done?
It has not.
Mr. Deutsch, I apologize. Can you repeat that so I can write this?
The parking authority is available for any apartment dwellers who wish to rent a space with them.
Thank you.
Put a stipulation in there that we'd like them to reach out and get something formal in writing?
We would prefer, ideally, to leave it to the tenants. When a tenant rents an apartment in a building that has no parking, if they have a car, tenants are going to know that they need to make arrangements for their car, long-term. I mean, there is on-street parking available, mass transit is available in the area. So ideally, we would like to leave it to the tenants if they would like a reserved parking spot, that it is available to them to go discuss with the parking authority.
Okay, and the other question I had is, earlier, I think Matt Evans said something that if we wanted to put the mechanics in those buildings, we could. What mechanics are we talking about, Mr. Evans?
We would, just like each individual unit would have their own separate utilities and meter, these being oversized units, would accommodate those easily. So it's just a cabinet that would have,
I'd like to see that personally. I would like to see that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna open it up at this time to the commissioners. Commissioner Cleaves, I see her hand up. Go ahead, please.
I'm glad you asked about the parking because that was also going to be my question. And the off-street parking is meter parking, so either or way, the tenants that rent in this building would have to pay for parking. So I'm glad you asked the question because I wanted to know if anyone had reached out to the parking authority also. But thank you.
Yeah, I think, you know what it is, this is mixed use, it's downtown. most people that move into those buildings know that there's really no parking, and therefore most of them that move into the areas don't have cars. But they should, I was hoping that maybe the owner, would accommodate, rather than them go over to see Mr. Perez on their own. Maybe the owner can intervene, we could put a stipulation in there that the owner can kind of like negotiate with, Tony Perez for parking, since they are permanent residents in that building. That's all. And to be honest with you, I really don't think it's gonna amount to very many of them, because most people who move into those buildings don't have cars. So, but that's my own personal opinion. Let me see, I think, and I did want to put the mechanics in the apartments, that could be a stipulation also, should this, be granted or approved, get a motion to approve. Any other questions? Commissioners?
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner Figueroa.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think there needs to be some dialogue as far as that, because there are a lot of changes with the parking authority, with lots being deconstructed, reconstructed, so it's always good to have that dialogue with the tenants. As far as the retail space, I'm gonna repeat my question, which was on an earlier application, but from 9 to 9 p.m. are the hours. Do you guys have a tenant in mind?
It's my understanding at this time, no, there is no tenant in mind.
Okay, so then the question would be, what type of business do you?
Whatever type is permitted in the zone.
And we can stipulate no alcohol.
My client would be willing to agree to no bar, no liquor store. If a restaurant would be appropriate in that space, and that restaurant is able to get a liquor license, they would like that option. I'd like the other, like.
If it's a regular restaurant, I have no objection. I have a problem with people going in and coming out with a paper bag and putting liquor in it. That I have a problem with. Those are hangout places. But there are lots of restaurants, and they were trying to get more restaurants in the downtown area. I personally would not be averse to that, but we can ask the commissioners. And, that's how I feel about the alcohol in there. If you're in a restaurant, you're having a bite to eat, I don't have an issue. But if you're going in just to buy a bottle and come the hell out, no, I have a problem with that. So, anyway, Commissioner Figueroa, would that solve your, the question?
Yes, that was it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Any other questions? Okay, I hear none. I'm sorry, Commissioner Fulmore, go ahead.
I apologize. I don't recall, hearing, is there a washer and dryer on site for the 7 dwelling units?
No, we don't have washers and dryers in the unit. That was part of the design.
Okay, that's my only question. Thank you.
All right, so, any other commissioners? All right, so I heard three stipulations. I'd like to make some sort of an arrangement that if someone does have a car, they can go to the, owner of the building and have them negotiate on their part for a, to maybe get some sort of a better rate than the average daily rate through Tony Perez. I also, would like to make the stipulation no actual alcohol in terms of a liquor store. And also that the mechanics for their own heat control and monitoring be put into the buildings. Am I correct, Mr. Deutsch, for those the 3 stipulations that we discussed?
Yes.
Okay, anybody else want to add anything? Okay. Would any commissioner like to make a motion on this application? Commissioners? Okay, I'm gonna make the motion. On the application, I was gonna say, on the application of 18 Church Street, Paterson, MJ, LLC, Block 4407, Lot 7, I move that the board attorney prepare a resolution granting, I don't have it in front of me, somebody help me out here, it's not here.
Site plan approval.
Site plan,
And bulk approval,
right,
this is downtown central historic district,
okay, that's it, those three?
as far as I know, yes.
Okay, with the stipulation that the mechanics for, monitoring their own, electricity and so forth, be put into each unit. That there be no liquor store, okay, in the commercial section of that property. And that, if anyone does own a car, that they have the owner of the property negotiate with Tony Perez for a better rate than the daily rate. That is, it would cost an arm and a leg to park over there. But if you could negotiate, he's a pretty fair guy, if you could negotiate with Tony Perez, to get a better rate for those people.
And you stated, a daily rate or a weekly rate?
No, I didn't say either one, just to
Okay,
negotiate.
can you repeat it then, cause I didn't get it, I apologize.
Yeah, that if anyone that owns a car, okay, go to the owner of the property and have him reach out to Mr. Perez to negotiate a better rate.
There it is, thank you very much.
A better
I
rate.
misunderstood, thank you.
Had to pay the daily rate over there, they'd go broke, forget about it. Okay, so, I think I covered everything, did I not? Looks good. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Fulmore. Okay, and roll call, please. Roll call, please.
I apologize, I was off, I understand, I apologize. Commissioner Ahmed, yes or no on this application?
Yes.
Commissioner Cleaves?
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher?
Yes.
Commissioner Yamsel?
Yes.
Commissioner Fulmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Udine?
Yes.
Thank you. And Chairwoman Northrup?
Yes.
There's 8 in the affirmative, this application has been granted.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay, is there any other business, Mr.
Thank you.
Deutsch? Wait, Matt, I'm sorry I didn't hear you earlier, I didn't realize that you had COVID, I'm so sorry, I do apologize, feel better, please, and be safe.
Thank you, and thank you for accommodating me with this virtual meeting. It's been
Well,
really-
Well,
Better.
so we're still on virtual for now, we're gonna see where this goes moving forward, because with everything else going on, who knows? So, I'll keep you posted.
Before you, may I ask permission, Madam Chair?
Yes, absolutely.
Speak to the commissioners on my behalf.
Yes,
I was very sick in May and I came back to work in October. I wanna thank each and every one of you for your prayers and giving me life. Most of all, my God, for giving me life. As well as, I welcome Commissioner Cleaves returning as well. It's a very uphill battle, but we're here.
Yep.
So I wanna wish you all a happy and healthy holiday, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
right, and
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everyone, Feliz Navidad, and for those who don't celebrate, just enjoy the holiday season. But most of all, all of you, please be safe and keep your families safe. That's the most important thing, seriously, more than anything else. So, any other business?
There's no other business this
There's
evening.
no other business, and we're all good to go.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Merry
Good
Christmas.
night now.
Good night.
Good night.
That's it, Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Thank you, IT staff. Have a good day.
Madam Chair, can I just ask,
Yes.
just, you guys went through so quickly with on the first application, I couldn't keep up with